Is almost 6 o'clock. So good evening, Edgewood ISD family. I hope everybody is having a wonderful day and evening. I know right now people are either getting home, making dinner. So we really appreciate you taking time out of your day to join us this evening. This is just one of the many parent town halls we will be having. And just so you know, we will also be having a parent town hall tomorrow, a Spanish version. The link has been posted on the district website, Facebook page, and on Twitter. So if you know of anybody that needs this presentation done in Spanish, please have them join us tomorrow evening, same time, different link and different password, but we will be offering it as tomorrow. So what I do want to go over a few housekeeping rules before I introduce everybody. One thing you will notice is on the bottom of your screen, whether you are using a laptop or a phone will be a little different. You have to push a button on your right-hand side of your screen, but you're gonna have the option to chat with us, or if you have a question regarding any part of the presentation this evening, we are kindly requesting that you can put it in the Q&A section. The reason why we want these questions in the Q&A section is so we can tally them, combine them, and then add them on our district webpage. So again, if at any time throughout this presentation you have a question on something you're hearing, or you just need to know information, even if it's not something that's on the presentation, but you have a question about something, please put it in the Q&A portion at the bottom. We will try to answer it this evening. If we do not, we please kindly ask you to give us about a week to 2 weeks to go ahead and get all the information, make sure it's on a nice Excel spreadsheet, and then we can post them on the district website. With that being said, hi, my name is Olga Makulis, and I'm the Executive Director of Industry and Community Partners here in Edgewood ISD. So I'm just going to go around and I'm going to introduce. So right now you see everybody on the screen, and if you're on a phone, you won't be able to see everybody on the screen. So what I'm going to do is unmute whoever I'm going to introduce. That way, when they do say hello, they'll pop up on your screen if you're using a phone. So first, I'm going to introduce, we have Miss Salinas. Miss Salinas, can you unmute your mic?
Yes, hello everyone. Nice to see everyone.
And after Miss Salinas, we will have Miss Kayla Calderon Lugo.
Hi, Edgewood ISD. Good evening. Thanks for joining us.
And so Miss Salinas is the Chief of Schools, and Miss Kayla Calderon is our Public Information Officer. Next, we have Mr. Williams.
Hello, everyone. Glad to be here. Thank you for tuning in this evening.
And Mr. Williams over is the, I got your title.
Chief Operations Officer.
Chief Operations Officer. And we also have our Chief of Police, Mr. Jesse Quiroga.
Hello, everyone. Thank you for allowing us the opportunity to be here and present. Thank you.
And last but not least, we have our fearless leader, Dr. Eduardo Hernandez.
Good evening, Edgewood. I do appreciate the opportunity to get in front of you again. If this is your first time joining us, welcome to the conversation. If you're returning to us, welcome back into the family. We do have some very important information we're going to share with you tonight. So I will turn it back to Olga before we keep going. Olga?
Wonderful. So I am going to bring up a little bit of information. I'm going to now share my screen. What we want to go ahead and do is share a most recent video that our amazing PR department did. So let me get this ready for you all. Can y'all see that screen? There we go. Okay. Give me 1 second.
Hello, Edgewood ISD. I am your superintendent, Dr. Eduardo Hernandez, and as we prepare for the start of the 2020-21 school year, I want to reassure our families that there is nothing more important than the safety and well-being of our students and staff. I understand our families' concerns given the current health environment we are living in, which is why Edgewood ISD has planned extensively to give our families a choice for high-quality instructional options that encourage student engagement while also taking steps to protect the health and wellness of all students and staff. I want to thank all of our families, students and staff who responded to the surveys that went out during the months of June and July. The feedback received has played a crucial role in our back-to-school planning. Your honest feedback has better prepared us for our upcoming school year, to make learning successful for our students, and to give our families the opportunity to make the best choice for their children. Remote learning will take place for all students for the first 8 weeks of school. Edgewood ISD has developed 3 learning models for the upcoming school year, which include a remote model, an on-campus model, and a hybrid model, which is 2 days on campus and 3 days remote learning at home. Remote learning will include real-time learning, also known as synchronous, and lessons for students to work on their own time, known as asynchronous. As always, daily engagement and attendance will be monitored for all learners. Along with these high-quality instructional models, our school board approved a technology purchase so that EISD can offer a one-to-one device for all of our students. Other essential services EISD will continue to offer are meals for our students, social and emotional support, iPad and laptop support, and an employee support service for staff with children in kinder through 5th grade to ensure that care is available as they offer instruction to our students. When it comes time to return to school, all EISD students and staff will be issued reusable face masks. Pre-kinder through 2nd grade students and teachers will also be issued face shields, and all students will receive instructional supplies. We've also ensured that our custodial staff has extensive sanitizing protocols in place to continuously disinfect high traffic and high touch areas within our schools and offices. For students who need to ride the school bus, a limited amount of individuals will be allowed on the bus with every other seat blocked off to ensure proper physical distancing practices. Our school buses will be thoroughly sanitized to include doors, rails, and seats after each route. There will also be safety protocols when guests arrive to our district and district offices. Visitors will be required to wear a face covering and to call and make an appointment prior to their visit. All guests will have to complete a self-screening questionnaire and have their temperature checked before entering our buildings. The safety protocols established for Edgewood ISD are thanks to our safety committee made up of representatives from numerous departments throughout our district who use local and state health and academic guidelines in order to make recommendations for the safe start of our student and staff. The pandemic we are currently facing and updates regarding COVID-19 are continuously changing, which is why we are committed to frequently reevaluating our learning options and safety protocols. Information about our back-to-school Safe Start plan will be posted on our website at www.eisd.net/SafeStart, as well as our social media platforms, including Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. I understand that school will seem unconventional this year, so I want to say thank you, Edgewood ISD families, for your patience and flexibility as we work through this pandemic together. It's an honor to be your superintendent and to serve our Edgewood ISD community. Thank you, and God bless you. Hello, Edgewood ISD.
All right, so I wanted to share that. I know it kind of broke up a little bit. It's a really large file. You can find that on our district website. And if you needed any more information, please note that you can always contact us via our social media platforms, whether at Facebook, on the website, Instagram, Twitter. We are always available here for you. With that said, I'm going to go ahead and start up the presentation. I wanted to make sure I logged out of there. We will have, again, that video is on our YouTube page, and you can find that on our district website. So I will go back in and share. Give me 1 second.
I am your superintendent.
So all parents, let's see, my screen's taking a little longer to get on here. Can y'all see the screen? It's blocking out over here. Yes, okay, perfect. So calling all pre-K, all families, all kinder. What we want to know is we are looking for you. We would love to see all your children logged on right now with our teachers. So if you have a kinder or pre-K kinder student at home that would still like to be involved in the learning, we welcome you. Please, please, please give us a call. And the reason why this is so important is we know the benefits of early childhood education. Starting our students early is only going to benefit our kids. It's going to benefit them in the long run with reading, with them more likely to be employed in so many areas. So early intervention is the key for our students. If you have any questions regarding our pre-K centers, whether it's we have Gardendale with our partnership through Pre-K for SA, or at any Cardenas or Stafford or Learning Head Start centers, please give us a call. We are more than welcome to be here and help you all with that. I have, let's see. I have put a slide here up with my information. Again, my name is Olga Makulis and I'm the Executive Director of Industry and Community Partnerships. I have my email here, which I will also put in the chat. If you have any questions regarding enrolling your child pre-K or kinder age, please give me a call or email me. Even if you have a question regarding a student that's in elementary, middle, or high, we are here to serve you. With that said, Dr. Hernandez, the floor is yours.
All right. Well, good evening again, parents, and thank you for spending some time with us. So I'm going to move us along expeditiously. If you'll go ahead and take us to the next slide, Ms. McCullis. Parents, you'll move us along, please.
The internet's a little lagging. I apologize for that.
Okay. So part of the slides that you're about to start seeing, parents, revolve around continuity in our message. So over the last few months since spring break, obviously to describe the situation that we're living in right now as a roller coaster would probably be an understatement. There is an update on information probably every time that you look up or every time you come to one of these town halls, or sometimes when you're listening to our friends in the media updating you on the situation with school districts. And so what I've decided to do moving forward is that I want to make sure that we don't lose light of what is important, and making sure that we also don't lose light of the fact that we began a journey 2 years ago, which surrounded around the idea of making sure that our number one outcome remains our number one outcome. And what's our number one outcome? Our number one outcome is to make sure that all students are ready to graduate, career, college, and military ready by the time of their anticipated graduation. Ms. Olga, are we moving on to the next one? There you go. So part of our discussion today is going to be centered around 5 guiding principles. We're going to continue to provide you accurate and timely communication. We're going to talk about health and safety issues, continuity in mental health and well-being, and that's important because I am a firm believer that children cannot learn if we do not address their social and emotional needs. And not just to children, but also comprehensively for you as families also. We want to make sure that we support the total family because we know that research teaches us that that affects the education of children. We also want to talk to you about high quality instruction in terms of what's going on in our district. And then of course, always maintaining educational equity in terms of your accessibility to the products and services that we provide, which is instruction, and making sure that we connect with you, whether it be through forums like this, or that we also provide continuity through the internet. And so you heard in the video that our school board, which I thank, they're not here today, but I do always want to thank them, made a decision to allow us to provide a one-to-one device for every student in the district. So let's go ahead and move on, Ms. McCullis. Our vision a few years ago was to establish something called the Vision 2020-25. And you heard me talk about our number one outcome. We promote and we pursue that number one outcome by following 3 core values. We are professional, we are accountable, and we communicate in everything that we do. That's what today is about. We have 5 board superintendent goals that we follow. You see those listed there. And we put our money where our mouth is. And so what you see there is a picture of our board and where we spend most of our money in terms of our goals. As you can tell, goal 1, which is a focus on student success, is where we're spending $76 million of our total $104 million budget. As you can see, most of our money goes into the educating of children. We also established that we would be developing 5 innovation zones in Edgewood. As you can see there, the STEAM Innovation Zone, the Performing Arts Innovation Zone, the Early Childhood Innovation Zone, the Leadership Zone, which is the school for young women and young men, and then the Public Service Innovation Zone. If you'll take us, Ms. McCullis, to the next slide. So what does that look like, Superintendent Hernandez? So basically what that looks like for us, in year 1, we established a partnership with Gardendale Elementary School and Pre-K for SA. And they have been a wonderful partner in terms of creating an environment where our young ones can go and learn about early literacy and early numeracy. So at the beginning of this presentation, you heard us talk about helping us find our kids. We still have children that have not registered for school. And so if you have a child that's in pre-KK, or you know a neighbor that has a child, help them remember to reach out to us, because we want them in school. We do not have the luxury of not having children connected to us, because every year is extremely important, and we can definitely do remote learning with our kids. And so please help us out. So I'll take us back to year one. Year one, we also opened up the Brentwood STEAM School of Innovation. That is a STEM-based school. And we work through an operating partner named Friends of PTech. That was all in year one. And now at year two, which we just finished, we have partnerships with Texas A&M San Antonio, who now operates our Gus Garcia University Middle School and our Burleson School of Innovation. And so these are partnerships that we've developed over the first 2 years. And now we're moving into developing partnerships for the schools that you see listed here, which are Perales Elementary, Las Palmas, which is our Young Women's Academy. This is the first year that we have young women in kinder first and I believe second grade, Winston Elementary, and of course, John F. Kennedy High School. And so these are things that we are still developing, but my message to you is we have not lost sight of the fact that we are still building an excellent district that provides you an excellent education for our children. So COVID does not get to disrupt the plans that we have, because we can both promote educating our children and work very, very hard at making sure that we have a safe environment for our children, and that we educate you as our parent and our children so that we maintain the health and safety of everyone who engages with us as our patron and as the people that we serve. Ms. McCullough, if you'll take us to the next slide. So let's start with accurate and timely information. Let's keep going. So obviously, it's no new information that as of yet, COVID seems to be the challenge that we face as a district. So if you haven't gotten to know Dr. H, that's me, you're going to get to know that I love using pictures, because I think pictures tell a message more than many times. You know, if you'll go back, I'm sorry. Our mission hasn't changed in terms of teachers providing quality education there. That's the picture in the middle. Us providing support to you as families, as you can see in the picture in the top, making sure that we're providing healthy food and food for our students, but also food through our food supply lines that we have, because we have a police department that believes in community action and servicing our community. As well as you can see the picture of the young man there who is using his laptop, because of course, number one purpose is to educate children. These things have not changed. That message does not change and will not change. Go ahead, Ms. McCullough. So Safe Start. A few weeks ago, our school board gave me the authority to move us into remote learning through October the 9th for all students. And so at this point, we remain in remote learning. I said at that time that as we applied for, excuse me, because my screen I apologize for that, sorry. That as I moved us into dates closer to October, I would be making my decisions in terms of when we would bring back both students and staff based on the public health metrics that the city of San Antonio is sharing. And our board approved that we would be looking at those metrics so that we could continue and make decisions based on, again, the health metrics until they reach the percentage of 5%, which you see listed there. So right now we are still in remote learning. As of last night, I believe, at this time, the city's positivity rate sits at 7.8%. That number has dropped almost in half from when we started this journey. So I'm gonna put a plug in for the city and for all of us. Keep wearing your masks. If you have a shield, keep wearing your shield. Keep washing your hands. Keep getting educated, which I believe is the most important thing. Let's stay educated on these matters. Let's not rely on other factors, whether it be social media or whatever, to tell us the facts. Let's rely on public health metrics, because I think this is the best way that we can make decisions, and that I, as a superintendent, am guiding my decision. Go ahead, Ms. McCullough. And so I think I've already talked about that, if you'll keep us moving. And then the recommendation of Dr. Wu, who is our medical officer in the city of San Antonio, is that in her opinion, medically, we are now in a position where we should consider start moving children in small amounts back into our classrooms. So you're gonna hear me talk a little more about that here in a few slides in terms of her recommendation. So if you'll keep going, Ms. McCullough. So again, to reiterate what I just said, these are the factors that I'm using to consider my decision-making in terms of bringing back students and staff. I'm looking at the work that I do with my board. I'm watching public health metrics. I'm also looking at the guidance from the Texas Education Agency because they are the governing body that governs schools. And then I'm also looking at the updates from our mayor, Mayor Nuremberg, and County Commissioner Wolf. And so these are just 4 of the main factors that I look at as superintendent of schools. You'll keep moving on. So right now, because I always said I would be transparent in my decision-making, we are sitting at roughly about 8,800 kids as of last week. I believe that number has gone up as of the afternoon. We just couldn't update this in time for this meeting, but we're roughly missing about 1,000 kids in Edgewood. And so what I'm saying to you is that we would like to ask you for help in terms of if you know of students that haven't re-engaged with us, I would ask you to help us re-engage with them. Let's get them connected to us so that we continue to educate them, because we have things that we can provide, like a device. And in some cases at this point, we're working on standing up a mesh network to support the students of our schools. You'll keep going. So Safe Start. You heard Ms. McCullough talk about Safe Start, and this is the name or the campaign, if you will, of how we've been promoting the information that we've been sharing with our folks. So I'm not going to get too much into this because Ms. Calderon Lugo is going to talk to you about this during her presentation. So I'm going to keep us moving. I want to address more where we are in terms of school. So for us, for the adults, school started August 10th. Teachers came back. We started doing professional development. And as of today, obviously, we're in September 1st, and we are now into about the 3rd week of school, or the 10th day of school. And so we continue to move forward. We continue to educate our children as well as our teachers, because we want to make sure that we have the best and the most highly qualified teachers to provide remote instruction to everyone. So I want to give you a quick glimpse into what the first week of remote learning looked like. Go ahead, Ms. McCullough. We can skip to the one more. First week of learning, here's what it looked like. These are teachers who've made the decision to come to school. They felt more comfortable teaching from their classroom. And so what you see here is a combination of folks at schools like Las Palmas or the Burleson Learning School of Innovation, where our folks are coming in and providing that quality instruction to our students now. You can keep going, ma'am. My apologies. These are other examples of teachers who the purpose that they have within them is what motivates them to come to school. And let me be clear, not because I'm saying that do I believe that only the teachers that are in our buildings right now are leading in their purpose. I believe all our teachers are doing well. They're being courageous in how they're providing instruction. But I do want to highlight the fact that we do have folks that are in our buildings. They're trusting our process. They're actually helping us make our process stronger in terms of helping us to see if, hey, maybe we can do this better, or maybe we're forgetting to make sure that we clean this part of the building. So it's always good to have eyes that will help us make our plan that much stronger. So we'll keep going. These are also other pictures from actual remote learning that's going on campus. And so you see the little school logos. We tried to be comprehensive and include learning from Stafford, John F. Kennedy, LBJ, Winston. And the picture on the bottom right, if you'll recall, parents, I said that we would be purchasing the school supplies for all students in the district. So right now, if you're following me on Twitter, and Ms. Olga, if you could put my Twitter handle in the chat in case parents want to start following me on Twitter. We are in the middle of passing out school supplies. In fact, many of you may have already heard from your schools and you're coming by and picking up those school supplies. We're going to continue to do that. And we want you to know that we are more interested in making sure that we keep the connection with our students. We love our kids. I'm going to say as a superintendent, I love our kids. This is a purpose. This is my purpose in life, is to make sure my kids are taken care of. And so I don't know about you, but if you look at those faces on the bottom right, that's the look that I'm looking for. That's what we fight for every day. We want our kids back. We want our kids safe with us, learning every day. And so know that that's what we're working towards in everything that we're doing at this point. You'll move us on. So what are we doing right now to make sure that we keep connecting with our community and making quality decisions? Well, this week, one of the many things I'm doing is that I'm working on making sure that I'm talking to other superintendents in our area, because just like anything else, More than one head and one discussion is much better. I'm learning from my colleagues in not just the districts that I listed here, but districts across Bexar County, continuing to build partnerships so that we can expand options for students. I use the symbol of Girl Scouts because our wonderful friends at Girl Scouts are currently working on standing up a full day program for about 200 girls in our district who chose to stay remote learning, but who want to go to a complex like the one that we have at the Girl Scout Center here in Edgewood ISD. And so that is in the middle of we're developing that out, and we will be providing information to the members of our community so that maybe perhaps if your child's going to stay remote learning, but they need to go somewhere, that might be a good place for you. So we'll have more information for you soon. And then the last picture there is we continue to promote our one-to-one device and establishing a network where our students can connect in terms of the internet. We know we have challenges out there in the community with parents who don't have access, but based on these surveys that parents provided, because we did provide a lot of surveys, most parents said, if you can provide me the digital device, let me worry about getting the internet connection. So I know there's parents in the community that are sort of connecting if they're neighbors and connecting financially and saying, hey, maybe we can get a digital device that we can share. And so that's the kind of innovative thinking that's happening in Edgewood. And I appreciate those of you who are out there. And if you know somebody that's doing that, thank them, because that's putting our little grain of sand in this total program so that we can all contribute to what's best for kids. If you'll move on. So September 14th, we will be asking all our teachers to return to campus, parents. So all of our teachers will be teaching from the campus. They'll be working with students still remotely, but our teachers will be back on campus, making sure that they have the resources that they need so they can continue to serve and support our students, and so that we can continue to support our teachers in their learning, because they are also our learning. And I don't want to lose light of that. Our poor teachers, who I have a lot of respect and appreciate, have taken on a lot and continue to do that. And so if you know a teacher out there, don't wait till Teacher Appreciation Day. A nice card, a nice something helps our teachers and keeps them motivated, because I'm telling you, they're working all hours right now. And so during that week, that first week, I want you to know, we continue to look at our public health metrics, and we also continue to look at our safe return programs, because every campus has a safe return program, and you're going to hear more about where these programs are located. So you can look for the specific ones for your schools. Ms. Olga? We talked to you a little bit about the Girl Scouts programming in the West Side, so we're going to have more information on that pretty soon. That's why it says limited seats available, because there will be limited seats, but we will have more information for you coming soon. You'll keep moving us along. So what's next? Dr. Hernandez, what's next? So September 25th, parents, we expect that your commitment form has been submitted to your local school. If that form is not submitted, then we will probably have to make a decision for you in terms of putting you into remote learning. We have now been asking for these commitment forms for, I would say, a little over 2 months. And so we do have to make decisions, and I am going to have to cut that date off. And so by September 25th, please make sure that you submitted your commitment forms and you see the 3 options there. You'll keep moving us along. Again, I'm showing you the options again. And so again, make sure that you submit those, because starting on October 12th is when we will make a decision and start educating children based on their commitment forms. And so know that as we continue to inch towards the October date. You'll keep us moving, Ms. Nicolas, and there's another one. And so that brings us to guiding principle number 1, and I'm going to turn this over to, I believe this is Ms. Calderon Lugo. So Ms. Calderon Lugo, if you will pick it up and move it on from here. Thank you.
Can everybody hear me okay? Very nice. So what we're going to talk about here in the next couple of minutes is a lot of information that you are hearing, not only during today's presentation, but that you have heard maybe over the last several months since this whole COVID outbreak started, where a lot of this information is housed. And so you're going to start hearing about vital information that you can use as parents to help you during this entire process, be it with remote learning, be it with in-person learning, hybrid model. Where can you find information to how to access maybe your children's schoolwork, parent portal? So that's what we're going to talk about, and that's why we're going to be talking about our EISD Safe Start website. That is where you will find a lot of this information. And so what we always do when we talk about the work that we're doing, we're always guided by our 5 superintendent and board goals, which you see right here. I'm not going to read them to you, but you could see them right here. The Office of Communications focuses on goal 2, even though at any given time, any one of those goals pertain to us, but the majority of the time it is goal 2 that we focus, and that is on students, families, and community. Next slide, Lola, please. And so what I'm hoping everybody understands as we round out this presentation today is I hope you understand a little bit more about the review for the EISD website page, but also the Safe Start page. And then I'm going to share with you just some numbers, some analytics on both of those pages with regards to the amount of individuals that have been visiting our site for information. And so what I want to start off with first is just the EISD website. So anytime you type in www.eisd.net, since we had to make the decision to close our schools, which was on March 13th to August 24th, being last week, the number of visits to our EISD website page have been over 1 million. And you could see here how it's been broken down to the different pages within the site that our users are visiting. So our district homepage is a site. Our employees have been visiting the site. Students pages have also been one of the top 5 pages visited, along with virtual learning and the school's directory page. The top 5 campus pages that have been visited during the same window have been Memorial, taking the top seed with over 33,000 visits, followed by Kennedy High School. Gus Garcia University School is our 3rd top visited page, followed by our Gardendale Early Learning Program and our Fine Arts Academy. And so as you could see that a lot of our families are visiting our pages. And again, this isn't to say that the other campus pages are not being visited. This is just our top 5 that we're sharing with you this afternoon. And so what we have here is, since we've started not only this preparing for back to school, but also the Safe Start. So when we say Safe Start, we want everybody to understand we are taking safety as our top priority as we prepare to return students to school. This is always a top priority for us during a regular school year. Now it's elevated because of we're having to deal with COVID. And so we want everybody to know that safety is priority for EISD. And so when we launched our Safe Start page, which was on August 1st, the page from August 1st to August 24th had received over 226,000 visits. And so that means a lot of our families, our communities are visiting this site to gain information. And the top 5 pages within this EISD Safe Start web page are the following. The most visited page for the Safe Start site is our back to school commitment form. So you heard Dr. Hernandez talk about those commitment forms and what do those commitment forms mean? What do they represent? We have those on our website, and that's been the #1 site since we launched, the #1 link, excuse me, that has been the most visited, followed by our technology resources. So again, you heard Dr. Hernandez mention that our board approved the purchase of devices for all of our students. And so now with that, how do we use these devices? That information is on that website, on the web page, followed by remote learning schedules. Parents, you asked, as we were preparing from spring into summer, getting ready to start the school year, one of the main questions that you asked was, how can I help my child throughout the course of the day? So now we have a schedule, remote learning schedule, that will help you and our parents better plan for your remote learning schedule. And then we have a COVID-19 preparedness plan along with our campus safety plans. You heard earlier, it was mentioned, our campus safety plans. Each campus has their safety plans that are posted on their page. If you don't know which campus maybe your child is going to be going to this year, because maybe you're new to EISD, or maybe you're considering one of the other options that we have with regards to our campuses, all of those campus safety plans are on our EISD Safe Start page. And so the way that the page is broken down, it's very simple. We wanted to make sure that our parents were very much aware and were able to find information in an easy fashion. So the page is broken down into 4 sections. The main page the top part of the page, you're going to see the main banners. And so in those main banners is where we will post information. For example, in this case, we have our Safe Start page, and then we have information on how to explain to your children how to wear a mask. So that's the main part of the web page that you're going to see. Followed by that page, we have our second section, and here is where you are going to find information on the 3 remote learning models that we have, which is that section highlighted in gold, where you have remote, on campus, and a hybrid model. You can click on those plus marks and the accordion information pops out, and so that's where you will find what remote learning, what on-campus learning, and what a hybrid model, what does that mean for you? And so you'll find that there, along with some safety videos. We have some featured videos that we are posting on this second part of the page for you to see. The first video that you see right there are the safety protocols. So if you click on that video, you will see the safety protocols that EISD is practicing and are in place as we prepare for, and as have already launched, the start of the school year. The next page, this is a really critical section of our website. So right here, in easy print, easy pictures to follow up with, you will find information for you as parents that you need to not only fill out, but maybe will help you with a lot of the remote learning that has been taking place. So here you will find, I mentioned our back to school commitment form, our Safe Start plan. We talked about the class schedule. We also have the academic calendar. We also have our survey results from those surveys that we have been asking you to fill out over the course of the summer. The video that you saw at the start of this presentation, the superintendent message video, that is posted right there in that section. We talked about our campus safety plans. Each one of our campus safety plans are located right there, along with those technology resources. Again, a lot of parents, you have been asking, where can I go? How can I log into? Where can I get this information? If you visit that technology section, you're going to find a lot of information that I think will be very, very beneficial to you parents, to help guide you into your remote learning to help guide you with remote learning for your children. And then lastly, we have, again, some additional featured videos that we have on our page, what those protocols are going to be. And so the web pages is really broken down into 4 different sections. We're trying to make it as easy as possible for you parents. So at any given time, I invite you to please visit our EISD Safe Start page, because this is really critical information for our families to be aware of. Another component that we're doing also with regards to what we're messaging out to our families and even to our community is we're really pushing our message to talk about the work that's taking place in Edgewood ISD. So what you have here is a 15-second spot that is running on KSAT, but you will also see another spot that is going to be running on WAI. So this campaign is basically talking about it's broken down into 3 sections: the safety measures that EISD is taking, the school choice opportunities that we offer for our students, and how you can go ahead and enroll. So Olga, I will go ahead and let you, if you want to play this one, so that way our families can see what they will soon be seeing on KSAT 12.
Ms. Kayla, we're going to go ahead and play it at the end of the presentation because I have the video at the back.
Got it. Okay. So in a nutshell, that's really what I wanted to make sure that everybody was aware of with regards to the webpage, because that is our most visited site for information for you parents. So I hope that by going through this, you are able to understand how that webpage is broken down and it's easier for you to understand. And then again, also, we want to remind you that we are always posting information on our social platforms, on our Facebook page, which is our biggest platform of followers for our families. A lot of our community members, external partners follow us on Twitter, and everybody follows us on Instagram. We get parents as well as students. And so those are the platforms that you can follow us, as well as the website, www.eisd.net. So that's all I have for everybody. If you have any additional questions, again, feel free to visit us on any one of those platforms, or you can follow us also through newsletters. You can sign up on our EISD website. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you, Ms. Kayla. And just a little reminder, if you do have questions about anything you've seen, today or heard, please type your questions in the Q&A portion of the Zoom. That allows us to keep all the information from one area, so we can go ahead and gather the information, get our data on what people are, what our community really wants to know about. So next, I am going to introduce Mr. Williams.
Excuse me.
Oh, well, hello again, everyone. I appreciate the opportunity to share with you some information related to guiding principle number 2, which is health and safety. Tonight, I want to more specifically speak about information regarding mobile meal service, personal protective equipment, which we call PPE, additional safety measures taken by the district, and also provide a UIL update. Since the onset of the pandemic, our child nutrition department has continued to provide meals to all of our students. These meals were distributed via curbside grab and go format at various campus locations throughout the district. Next. And on August the 17th, the child nutrition department enlisted the assistance of the transportation department, thereby forming a committee of employees that now enables us to offer mobile meal service throughout the district at certain locations. We understood that some students were not able to come to the campus and pick up meals. Therefore, we kind of wanted to take the meals to them. Again, our goal is to feed kids. So we now have 6 neighborhood sites to make meals more accessible to students. These locations are Rosemont Apartments, Lago Vista Apartments, Southwest 29th Street at Monterey, Northwest 36th Street at Inez Avenue, Juanita Avenue near Afton Street, and the Veterans Stadium parking lot. Again, our goal is to ensure students have the access to nutritious meals. So please take advantage of this opportunity. So looking at PPE, the district will provide personal protective equipment to all of our employees. Employees will receive several disposable masks and several reusable masks. All employees will receive a face shield. Some employees will also receive gloves, and these individuals include nurses and custodians, child nutrition workers, and certain special program employees. As it relates to PPE for students, all students, as Dr. Hernandez spoke earlier, are required to wear a mask, and we're asking the parents to help us with that. But we also are providing several disposable masks for students and several reusable masks. So students will receive masks from the district as well. Just an important note as it relates to our ECC, our Early Childhood Center students, our pre-K, kinder, first and second grade students, and certain special program students, as well as those grade level teachers for those grade levels, the students will receive what we call a bucket hat face shield. It's a little hat, and it has a face shield attached to it. And this will allow our young learners to visibly see the mouth movements and the facial expressions of teachers, and vice versa. So we've come to understand that this is from an instructional standpoint, it is a critical stage in the learning process. And so we make sure we do that for our students and our teachers at those grade levels. The district has also added some additional safety measures. We are installing 4 touchless water filling stations at each campus. These stations provide an opportunity for us to fill water bottles without touching the water fountain itself. We're also providing hand sanitizer dispensers, which will be or have been conveniently placed at the entry points of all schools, every campus, and in the hallways throughout each campus. So you don't have to walk too far before you see a hand sanitizing station. Those are placed strategically throughout the building. Next, the district has also installed or provided plexiglass at the front office areas for each campus. Campuses will also receive plexiglass dividers for use when they're conducting meetings. Our custodial team is working throughout the day, disinfecting high-touch areas. And every night, we are fully disinfecting each campus and district building. The transportation department has updated the student bus procedures as a result of COVID-19. For example, and Dr. Hernandez in his video, he shared with you, but for example, all students and drivers, bus aides, they're required to wear masks, except in the cases where we have a student that may qualify for an exception to wearing a mask. Again, while remaining 6 feet apart, we'll ask students to board the bus one at a time. We will fill the seats from the rear to the front, and we're going to do it in a staggered formation. We're going to ask the students sit in the window seats only. The seating will be clearly marked with signage to help our students out. The entire first row of seating directly behind the driver, that seating will not be used. If students live in the same household, they may sit together on the same seat. This seating formation, it will allow us to transport approximately 13 students on a 72-passenger bus. And I say that again, on a 72-passenger bus, using this social distancing and the staggered formation, it allows us to transport only 13 students. So we're doing what we can to make sure that we put these safety measures in place, and it comes at a small cost. So just to continue, when exiting the bus, students, you go back. When exiting the bus, students will continue to remain 6 feet apart, and they will exit the bus from the front to the rear. And our drivers will ensure that they speak to our students to help them understand these new protocols and these new procedures. Again, it's new to everyone, and we thank you for being flexible with that. Next one, Ms. Ogle. And of course, at the end of the day, at the end of the routes, our team members will clean not just the high touch areas, but they will disinfect the entire bus. Like transportation, our child nutrition department has made a few changes on how we service our students. On-campus students, they will be served a breakfast grab-and-go meal that may be eaten in the classroom. On-campus lunches will be served in the cafeteria, but they will either be eaten in the cafeteria or the classroom. We'll ask students to come to the cafeteria, they pick up their lunch, and they either go back to the cafeteria or the classroom based on the procedures of that campus and to consume their meal. And here's how that could look at a campus, for instance. Students will enter the cafeteria lined up 6 feet apart. They will enter the service line, select their meal. At that point, they will stop at the cashier station, and then they will proceed to their seat in the cafeteria where students will sit 6 feet apart. We will mark the seating to better assist the students with that. Students that dine in the classroom will return to their classroom and eat their meals at their desk, which is already socially distanced. And all meals will be wrapped individually, as you see in that corner photo on the bottom right side. One other safety measure the district is taking, the district is installing the MERV 13 filter in our HVAC systems district-wide. Now, the MERV 13 is the industry recommended filter for HVAC systems, and they are efficient at capturing bacteria and airborne viruses. As a 5A school district, per the UIL, Edgewood ISD is authorized to begin volleyball and football activities on September the 7th. With that being said, the first volleyball game could be played on September the 14th and the first football game on September the 24th. Edgewood High School's Memorial and Kennedy are in the UIL district with 7 other San Antonio ISD schools. Now, we learned today that SAISD is starting in-person athletic activities on October the 5th. Now, again, with that said, we are monitoring, and as Dr. Hernandez alluded to, or plainly spoke earlier, we are monitoring the city's ever-changing positivity rates. These rates is what will inform us as to when it is safest to allow student participation in group activities. However, the decision we make is directly related to our competition, and it's directly linked to the decisions made by SAISD. because again, on a 9-member UIL district, 7 of our opponents are their campuses, so in our UIL district. So as things progress, decisions involving athletics will be made, and we will provide timely updates via all of those different communication platforms that Ms. Lugo spoke of earlier. And so we will continue to monitor this information with the city, with the county, all other government entities, the TEA, the UIL. And so as soon as this information is reviewed and we provide, again, as soon as we review the information, we'll provide updates about plans coming from the district. And as you know, the pandemic has caused us to be flexible and to expect changes at a moment's notice. So I just want to take the opportunity to thank each and every one of you for being patient and with us as we try to make the best decisions for kids. So thank you for the pleasure of your time. Ms. Olga?
Thank you. So what we have next is we will have Miss Teresa Salinas.
Hello, Edgewood family, and thank you for staying on the line with us. We've heard a lot about the different safety protocols that we have going on, and I wanted to share with you what our campuses are doing and how we're responding at the campus level to ensure that we're ready to receive students. Our leaders are prepared and ready. We've gone through a lot of extensive work around looking at guidance from the Texas Education Agency. We've had a committee of teams working together to create a plan of action that provides guidance to families, to students, to teachers, to administrators on how to respond. It's really key for us to continue to take preventative measures. So Olga, you'll click the next slide, please. This is a picture here, and Dr. Hernandez, you know, when he said pictures speak volumes, this is a picture of our principals actually going through and creating a simulated response of what it would feel like to have people in the building. We know that on September 14th, we're going to be bringing back teachers, so it was really important for us to time how long it takes teachers to get into the building, to think about what it feels like to actually go through those protocols so that we are ready to respond. We've also been engaging with principals on multiple occasions to really go through and look at different scenarios. So TEA has put out a bunch of exercises that our school leaders can go through to ensure that we're ready to respond to the unique situations that could occur in our classrooms and throughout our buildings. So this is just a quick snapshot of our actual table of contents within our handbook. As you can see, we have many different topics that we cover. Our goal is to ensure that we're able to educate our students. Our goal is to ensure that we're constantly looking at what's happening throughout the city to make revisions. The bottom right-hand corner of the screen there shows a picture of our committee. So we brought in stakeholders from various different levels, from our nurses to counselors to social workers to directors to different people that are impacted, so that we could all engage in conversation and develop a plan that we all understand, and to develop a plan that meets all the needs of our district and different departments, to include our school. The bottom picture there that you see is actually our principals going through the screening process as they enter the building. Parental and public notices is really important. Timely communication is important. As Kayla mentioned before, we have a very robust website. One of the things that you'll find on the banner of our homepage is our asynchronous plan. There's a survey that was put out for families so that you could see the instructional plan, as well as the survey information and data collection around our safety plan. We encourage you to continue to visit our website for the most up-to-date information. Preventative measures are critical to the success of all of us. You know, as a community, as a city, we've been doing our part, masking up, and as a result of that, you can see where we have declining numbers. Our videos are meant to ensure that we're constantly being able to inform ourselves around the different protocols that are going to take place. As you can see in the little circle picture, the picture there in the middle is a picture of some of the screening stations. So we'll have screening stations outside of all of our buildings. If you want to see where those screening stations are going to be located, for your particular campus, please be sure to go to the campus website. Each of our campuses have engaged in creating a video of what this looks like for the entry of students into each of our schools. We also want to ensure that our students, and Mr. Williams made reference to the mask and protective PPE gear that was going to be provided to students. We will continue to ensure that we have posters and that our students know that we need to be wearing our mask. As adults, we wear our mask throughout the day as well. You can proceed, Olga. Our preparedness plan and being ready to respond. This is a quick protocol. It's for the students there. This is an example of just one of the many documents and tools that we have in our preparedness plan. This will allow our employees to know what action needs to be taken in any given situation, as well as families. So please go through the preparedness plan so that you can feel confident and know what's going to happen in our classrooms, and that you know that we have all of these things clearly laid out. Our goal is to ensure that we are continuously responding and communicating in a way that is transparent and allows you, the community, to be aware of what we're doing. We want to ensure that our students are in our classrooms with us. And so these are the different things and measures that we're taking so that you feel safe. Our schools will also be engaging in unique town hall meetings so that they could share the things that are happening at the campus level. So please be sure to look out for these meetings. They will be on Teams. Teams, of course, is the platform that students are using. Our ECE and elementary schools will be meeting on September the 9th at 5 p.m. So please log in. We have our middle schools meeting on September the 10th at 5:30 p.m. and our high schools meeting on September the 10th at 6:30 p.m. We try to flex the time in case you have students at various levels. You'll be able to attend the different sessions. We will also be recording these sessions so that you can watch them at a later date. Commitment forms. Dr. Hernandez referenced the commitment forms earlier. It's really important that we know what instructional plan best is going to meet the needs of your child. So please make sure that you log onto the website, that you fill this form out. Our teachers also created a link as an assignment in Teams so that these forms could get completed. The more data we have, the better prepared we are to provide the individualized services to students. Our leaders have been working tremendously. They've been engaged in virtual learning, constantly communicating with our teachers around all of these updates. In school leadership, we believe that leading with courage, confidence, collaboration, and clarity is key to the success of all of us in Edgewood ISD. And we are in this together. I want you to know that from a school leadership perspective, based on the work that we're doing in our schools, the work that our schools are doing, we got this, Edgewood. We are excited for September the 14th because we're going to have all of our teachers in the building, and we are excited to start welcoming our students into the building.
Thank you so much, Ms. Salinas. We appreciate you giving that overview. And next, I would like to introduce our Chief of Police, Mr. Quiroga.
Hello, everyone. My presentation is gonna be brief. I just want to thank everybody for allowing us the opportunity to speak. My presentation is gonna be based on something that I heard our superintendent say a few days ago when he was being interviewed. He said, he asked people not to give up and that we will get through this, and everything that's been presented so far is examples of how Edgewood is coming together to assist in this weird time that we're going through. Ms. McCoulis, can you go to the next one? Here at Edgewood, we have a family engagement department that their sole purpose is to assist parents with their needs, with the educational needs of their children. So parents, if you get confused with some of your children's homework or some of the technology that is needed to access your children's homework, please reach out to us. On September 4th, our family engagement department will be hosting a small, as many people as show up, I'm hoping it turns into a very large one. Meet our family engagement team. It's going to be held at the Emma Fry building. It's going to be from 9 a.m. until 11 a.m. and they are going to be serving a little bit of food. So we welcome parents to come in. If parents can't make it, please send us an email or call us so that we can assist you with needs. If you go on, would you go on to the next slide? We started doing a parent connection letter, and in that letter, it'll give parents a little bit of insight of what the family engagement department does. For example, we're going to be hosting a class on Seesaw for parents and ClassLink that'll help parents navigate through some of the schoolwork that our students are having to go through, so that you'll be able to be involved and be able to understand and help them through it. Would you go on to the next slide, please? At the same time, we're also trying to meet other needs. We've hosted several food drives on a weekly basis to be able to every week we've been able to distribute about 1,500 boxes of food to the community. So we are definitely here for the student and the family. If there's anything that we can do to help, we will. And we're doing this just because, like Dr. Hernandez said, we will get through this and we will be successful. That's actually the end of my presentation. Thank you.
Thank you, Chief. I really appreciate you. What I do want to remind our families that are logged in today, if you do have a question, please respond in the Q&A. We were trying to get those questions answered to you. If you would prefer to have an email question, you can type in your email there if you would prefer us to email you the answer. Or again, I put my email in the chat box. I have added Dr. Hernandez's Twitter account in the chat box as well as mine. So if you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to us. We're so thankful that we know that right now people are very busy. It's the end of the day. You're probably, trying to get your kids situated, getting them ready for virtual learning tomorrow, which I know is not easy. I have 3 of my own. So for me, it was difficult. My youngest was not having it, but she made it through. So again, I want to appreciate all of y'all for being here. What I am going to share with you is a little video clip. What we have done in Edgewood is, Kayla had spoke about it a little earlier, is doing a commercial. A lot of people don't really know what's going on in Edgewood. So what a better way to do, to show what we're doing with a commercial spot. And there hasn't been one in Edgewood since I've been here. So I'm really excited that we were able to get our word out there. People always hear about Edgewood word of mouth. So we want to make sure that any opportunity we have, we're highlighting the amazing students that we have here in Edgewood. We're highlighting the amazing staff that we have here. We know that we are not Edgewood without all of you all. It's really a big community, and it's the heart. If you think about it, everybody here is family. We are all family. We know that you can call anybody in the community. You can call one of our resource officers. You can call one of our counselors. And if you need something, we are going to be here to help you. So if you know a family in need, or if you know a student in need, let them know they can call us. We have the hotlines available for them, and you can find all that information on our website. Again, if you want to respond to those Q&As, I will go ahead and put those up there for you. So here is the video clip that we have aired on KSAT.
Edgewood ISD is committed to a safe start in 2020, offering remote learning for the first 8 weeks of the school year. Safety is our priority, with proper social distancing measures and daily sanitizing practices at our schools, empowering through education at Edgewood ISD.
So that was our little clip that we were able to put on KSAT, and we will have another one on WOAI. Once we have that one, we will put it on our social platforms. But I do want to give a huge shout out to our public information team, because without them, none of this would be possible. So thank you so much. Thank you for keeping our website up to date, Ms. Kayla and your team. I work with a great group of individuals, and we have been here nonstop since COVID began. And so I want to thank all the team that's on here and all the team that's listening, all our principals, all our staff. We really appreciate you. Without you all, we couldn't do what we do. So thank you again. We miss our students and we want them to be here with us. So again, if you have any questions, please put them in the chat. We're gonna go ahead and leave the box open for a little bit. Dr. Hernandez, did you wanna say a few words before I play some music?
So parents, again, I think Ms. Mucosa has already said, thank you for being here. You have her email address. Some of you sent messages on the Q&A asking if we could respond to you. I think Christina is the name that I saw on there. I sent that to Ms. Mucosa. We will get back to you. But parents, keep yourself informed. Stay focused with us. Next week, attend the parent virtual town halls with your schools and get informed. And if you have questions, email us. Let us know how we can serve you and help us get our kids back in school. We know this is a great, safe place for them. I think a lot of you are starting to feel a lot more comfortable with coming back. And so we want to do that and earn your trust through education. So give us that opportunity. To the men and women on this group, thank you for spending your evening, because a lot of you are mothers and fathers and you have families too. Thank you for staying in your